Well, hello, fellow traveler. Come on in, hang out for a spell. We're going to wander off into the alfalfa together and see what wants to come through the old portal tonight and check out the frequency that's going to be in play over the next 72 hours for the collective. We can have a little Mick and Mac action that goes down in these sessions where we do pick up a lot of macrocosmic energy, what's going on in the greater collective, the worldwide collective, but I'm going to try my best to keep it condensed to the collective that is gathered here that's receiving this message so we can really ground it out in our personal experience, our day-to-day lives, and our own reality tunnels that we mock up as we move through this energy, heading up to that new moon that's coming in Taurus on the 16th. That's this Saturday. And there's some interesting dynamics coming in with that new moon. I will have quite a portal report coming in for that one, so we're not going to go into a lot of details on that here, but just be prepared. It's a pretty intense energy coming in with that new moon. Makes complete sense to me why it's coming in with the energy signature of the Tower after I had a look at some of the particulars. All right, but if anybody can write it out, it's us. It's this collective here, so let's check it out. Let's see what is coming in for us over these next 72 hours, Spirit. Working with the Arcane BS deck here. Okay, I like it. Looks like you're going to come to that critical mass point, and what I mean by critical mass is that place where the brain just can't take any more reasoning something out. I mean, I think that's sometimes what it takes, just to reach the limits of your faculties where you have to just kind of wing it. And I feel like that's what you're doing here. You're winging it. You're winging it. You are getting a clear view of what you need to ditch. And it's not because you've necessarily received some piece of the puzzle or a key critical piece of information. It's just that you've reached that critical mass condition where it's like, I'm tired of thinking about this. I'm tired of figuring it out. I'm tired of planning it out. I'm tired of plotting. I'm tired of thinking there's any way I can get ahead of what seems to really just have me at the center of it all here. And I keep on looking at what's whirling around about me. And instead of getting into the flow of that, and some may consider it getting into the fray, I'm staying in a safety zone here instead of just really putting myself in the thick of it and saying, okay, you know, I'm going to give a finger to my fear. I'm going to give a finger to all the things that held me back before from just winging it, going with my gut level instinct, going with what feels like the best option at this point, just to get some forward progression going here. I do feel like you're going to take a slice of life here, just a little slice of life. Try something out. See what it feels like. Try it on for size. It's just a little taste test, you could say, of a new experience or something you want to explore here. And what you're going to be surprised to find is as you take a little slice of life here, you let yourself just experience something that you've been curious about, but you may have been in two different minds about it. You may have had a hard time really feeling out if this was the right choice for you. And you might have been making it too heavy, man. Like, there doesn't need to be some life purpose behind you exploring a certain pathway. I mean, it certainly can play into that ultimate storyline of how your life will unfold. There may be something you gain along the way from a trivial pursuit, you could say. So maybe that's what this is. It's a trivial pursuit. It's just a little slice of life. It's just a little carefree diversion. It's a little something that piques your interest. And so you go, you know what? Maybe I need to get out of the doldrums, get out of the blues, maybe just put some of that heavy stuff from the past behind me by just doing something just for the heck of it. Does it need to be so deep and meaningful? Sometimes when you're not taking it so seriously, you stumble across something that has more meaning than you could ever anticipate from such a frivolous experience, okay? This is just taking something a little bit more lightly, being a little bit more carefree. getting out of this place where you can't make up your mind about something because you feel like your whole life hedges on this. It doesn't. It doesn't. Each moment is new. So there's something you're embracing here. You're embracing a more transitory state. You're embracing more of the spontaneity of the moment. And kind of giving a finger to all the stuff that keeps you in this sort of feeling sorry for yourself space. It's like, okay, enough with that, enough with that. I'm ready to get it together here. I'm ready to wing it. I'm ready to just challenge my comfort zone just a little bit. I feel like it's around something you're exploring here. Something that just, piques your interest. It doesn't have to be the end all be all, whatever this is. So let's get some more details about this. Yeah, I think you've been in this place where you've been real strong. You've had to weather quite a bit. You've been in two minds about something. And it's been keeping you stuck in place. And you started to realize you were getting a little stubborn in your desire to resolve a particular thorn in your side. You wanted to have some kind of explanation, some kind of answer. And then you realized that by doing that, you kind of found yourself, right in the spear of those horns of that kind of bullish energy. And I think this is something that is reaching that critical mass with the Taurus new moon. There's something here you do need to grab a hold of before it creates any more damage, before it creates any more loss of time. Why are you trying so hard to be strong, to weather some difficulty, something that is just really nothing but a hassle, a stress, a strain? Something that keeps you in this space where you always feel like aggravated, irritated, undecided, or you feel like in some way you end up being the fall guy or the one who takes the brunt of everything. I mean, why are you even entertaining that? Maybe that's the problem. You're trying too hard to stubbornly go at something instead of just saying, you know what, maybe I don't need to put so much energy in this direction. If there's so much resistance here, what if I, follow the path of least resistance for a while? I mean, people rarely ever highlight that because we live in a society that's all about bigger, better, faster, stronger, The more you throw at something, the better, be relentless in your pursuit. And sometimes it's about relentlessly pursuing the path of least resistance that carries you where you really want to go. I mean, there's kind of like a fine line, And I think that's what this is about. It's about you getting decisive about a fine line. When has it been enough? When have you faced challenges, faced resistance, and understood it at one point as a tool for tempering on your path? Something that challenged you to look at yourself, to pull something more out of yourself, to understand if this was something that you really felt like giving your all to, pursuing relentlessly. And I think, yeah, to a certain extent, but at what point does it become an excuse? If something is providing nothing but resistance, that's kind of a safety zone to stay in because you never have to really experience the fulfillment of arriving at a place that does want to welcome you and does have a lot to share with you. And I think that's what the path of least resistance is about. What's the path that's welcoming you now? There's something that's going to come in here that's going to give you a break from this. Something's been running amok in your life. Something's been causing damage. You've been trying to control the damage. How about just accepting, okay, that's been damage. Maybe there's beauty in what's been broken. Maybe that needed to be broken. So it could kind of break its hold on your consciousness. And you could see what path really welcomes you now. I see, you're fit for the fight. You've gained a lot of strength in whatever you've been trying to get a hold of here. But Now it's time to be decisive. Be decisive. Maybe just relax. Relax your grasp on this. Let this run past you, you know? It's like you're holding on to this pursuit out of sort of stubbornness here, maybe to prove your strength, you know? Yeah, well, I can keep at it no matter what, you know? And at some point, that just becomes a matter of pride or a matter of ego. Like, I'm going to keep going no matter what. I'm not going to accept any kind of defeat. You know? Is it defeat, though? Is it defeat to let something go if it's just really nothing but a hassle? Nothing but a stress, nothing but a strain. You have to really ask yourself this at this time. You know, I think you're being asked to take the lead here, but not in the way you think. It's not about you wrangling wayward feral cats and bringing them all in line. Have you ever tried to wrangle a group of cats together? Good luck with that, you know, and I feel like that's what you're trying to achieve here. It's like you're trying to wrangle up all these cats. And there's too much independent energy, too much that goes against the grain of what you think should be, that it's a feat that's impossible. And so why the stubborn pursuit? To prove that you can do it? You can't, obviously, because it's still creating this place of indecision. Going in two different directions at the same time only divides you. It doesn't allow you to find a way through. So I feel like it's time to let go of something you've been very stubborn with. And just see what happens when you don't do anything about it. You just let it go. Follow the path of least resistance for a while. You might be surprised what you find there, okay? That kind of like Papa Macho energy coming through this. So it's sort of like that puff out your chest, like, well, I can take it, you know. Almost viewing it as a matter of contest, you know, your ability to weather out something that's just really nothing but a headache, nothing but a hassle, nothing that brings a lot of collateral damage with it. It's like, what's the point? To prove that you can? Okay. I mean, anybody can, but why would you? Like, why would you want to? Yeah, come on, man. We got a new moon coming. This is an opportunity to transform. Find new things to fertilize, you know? Things that you'll find a lot more enjoyable. Things that are a lot more pleasurable. This is really wanting to get beyond a particular cycle. But in order to do that, you're going to have to shed some skins here, and maybe more than you expect, you know? I think there's layers to this, whatever this is. You might have built up layers of toughness around you too, in your effort to prove your strength, your might, to prove a point, or whatever this is, just out of sheer stubbornness here. But I feel like it's time to enter into more of this regenerative quality. See, this isn't regenerative. I don't see any healing happening here. I mean, we still have this arrow stuck in your side. And it's stuck in your side in such a way that it's keeping you attached to this sense of needing to prove a point, needing to prove that you weren't wounded, that you didn't experience some kind of injury. Papa Macho, you know, it gives me vibes of somebody who's trying too hard to act like they don't feel anything. It doesn't matter to me, you know. Somebody who strong arms their way through their feelings. And I think that's going to come undone. I really do feel that's going to come undone. There's something here that's going to be a wake-up call. Because something's become way too monotonous in this situation. And, you know, the way to really have strength moving forward is with gentleness, you know. Gorillas are gentle giants. They are. They're strong, but they're gentle giants. And see, something has become too repetitive, too emotionless, too mechanical, like no true feeling invested in it. It's too self-protective. It doesn't allow any transformation to happen here. Something's become boring too. A particular battle has become boring. A particular argument's become really boring. Like something's just so on repeat here. That's what I feel. And I think that there's more of a sensitivity coming forward that's going to cause this particular facade to crack for Papa Macho here. We might be doing a read for Papa Macho later this week to get more details about what's going on with this particular character. Yeah, I mean, this is what needs to be traversed here. Moving out of the safety zone, flipping something on its head, you know? Understanding what really is the fertilizer for the new world now. It's not through force, you know? It's through actually letting down your guard. There's a new beginning here. There's a judgment call being sounded here. And it's definitely like renewal energy, but this is the start of a brand new cycle for the shitty acoustic guitar guy who's about to break free from a particular post he's been chained to for far too long. Chained to because he felt like he had to prove a point. What? That you were strong enough to weather the chains? Strong enough to be on the chain gang? What's the point? What's the point? I'm having a hard time understanding what the point of this is, you know? What is the point of this? I think it was because of a need to feel secure. But there's starting to be this understanding that there's no security in this, that the security is actually found ironically in breaking free of everything that has led to Papa Macho's conformity, you know? You've really been limited here. You've been limited here, whoever I'm talking to. You've been holding yourself back from your own salvation. That's what I see, but I see that this is the time when you stop. You stop. You stop. You find a new kind of strength. Find a new kind of strength. It might even be through finally acknowledging what you feel. And I don't know if you're acknowledging that through some kind of creative catharsis. Maybe you're writing some music, or there's some way, maybe through a particular medium. Maybe it's through your art. Or maybe it's through somebody, you know, somebody who wakes up that part of you that kind of gets you over yourself, kind of gets you out of your head, gets you out of a performative stance. Oh, that's interesting. But this could be somebody who felt like they had an image they had to live up to too, you know. I'm considered the one that's like, you know, that rocker dude who just, you know, has a harem, but the harem became kind of harem scarum, and it started to become a kind of confusing thing, and it overtook my life. And then before I knew it, what seemed like a good time ended up being a real hassle, created a lot of collateral damage. Had to grab a hold of that bull, had to grab that bull by the horns, but the first thing I had to grab was a hold of my own BS. I had to take the lead in my life. I had to recognize that I'd been allowing myself to kind of get caught up in some nonsense that was of my own making. It took a lot of strength to acknowledge that truth. But in finding that truth, I'm finding a way through, and I'm breaking free of some things that have held me back for a long time. This is somebody embracing their freedom, you know? Freedom of expression. Freedom of expression in all ways, okay? But recognizing that something they got themselves caught up in that led to a lot of confusion, a lot of fallout, was something they created of their own making. And I get this sense, like, for a while, may have been caught up in this sort of mindset, like, oh, well, I got to get a hold of this person, this situation over here, because this is the problem. But there was like this point that came, I think, through almost being in kind of a hangman position, maybe having security threatened a little bit. That can even be the security of having your cover blown, like somebody really seeing who you truly are. Could be somebody saw who you truly were. That was disarming. Oh, now the whole apple cart's been upset here. And I think what came through that, though, was some kind of reflection or recognition that, wait a minute, it does me no good to try to catch up this person or get a handle on this situation. I've got to strengthen myself here. And that required you to feel, oh no. You had to feel in order to heal. Oh, the rub of it. But see, as you felt into it, instead of resisting it, look what happened. It's like you came back to life. You started to get in touch with your creative energy. Maybe even started to express yourself creatively. Maybe started to feel really inspired. Started to embrace a more meandering kind of road where you didn't have to have it all under control, and you didn't have to have it all figured out, and you didn't have to stay chained to a particular post, and you finally gave those limitations the axe, and now you're discovering a new kind of freedom. Good energy. Okay, give me more details about this. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, see? You've had some kind of cleansing of your vision. You realize you were living too small. What you considered power before was just like a drop in the bucket. You're ready to embrace true power that comes through a new kind of vision. A new kind of vision here. There could be an Aquarian connected to your situation. You could have a strong Aquarius placement. This could have something to do with your community too, people that you're connecting to, people that you're seeing differently, people you've outgrown, people you're looking at in a new way. Maybe you want to tap into a new kind of community. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like you made a certain space your resting place, and what you encountered along the way was a lot of greedy people. A lot of people who were always after something, what they could get out of you, sneaky people, people who wanted to beat you to the punch, you know? And you made this your resting place for a long time, but now you're recognizing that that's nothing worth really preserving. Not when it's been built in such a way that it was built off your back, and at any moment it could be taken from you. Taken from you because you don't know who you can trust around you. Also, this may have been valuing things that money can buy, or valuing more superficial things. You could have been dealing with somebody like this. Maybe they didn't value you. They were more fixated on superficial symbols of living a successful, meaningful life. They lived fast, they lived free because they thought it gave them a certain image, you know, made them look like they were top dog, papa macho. I don't have any feelings. I play it fast and loose. I got a whole harem. But see, something here really flipped something upside down. Because the harem turned harem scarum. I got that, you know. Something got a little too close for comfort. What once looked like freedom actually became one's bindings. Ooh. Ooh. It wasn't the come up. It wasn't the come up that it seemed it would be. It actually became the thing that burdened someone here. And that's good, because I feel like you're on your way to a new kingdom here. sometimes some reign is over. Something's coming to a close. And where that may have been something that had provoked fear at one point, it's actually the source of one's liberation here. Yeah, also breaking the chains, breaking societal chains of what it really means to be fulfilled. A lot of you are giving up this pursuit of the American dream, you know? You know there's more to life than this. You've had these things. You've had the chicks, man, or you've had, you know, you've had the attracted dudes, you know, you've had your time with those pleasures in life. I feel that. But there's also a recognition here that these things can quickly be taken away. And what are you left with after these things are taken away? This is when we're really getting into the heart of what it means to have true value in life. True value in life. What has true value to you? There's something that's being seen differently here. I think because of some compromising associations, recognizing that something took from you more than it gave to you anything of true value, though it may have been things that you acquired that were valued by others, whether that's some kind of position in life, some kind of status, some kind of financial abundance, or having the finer things, whatever this was, it left one feeling burdened. Somebody may be paring down. You may be doing that too. You may be streamlining in your life. What do I really want here? Maybe you want to travel more light moving forward. You don't want all this stuff. You realize you're holding on to too much stuff. You might be paring down things in your physical environment as you're letting go of old stuff you've been hanging on to. You're also recognizing you're letting go of things that are attached to that stuff, ideals that are attached to that stuff, old psychic imprints that are connected to that stuff, all this stuff that's been taking up space. The more you let things go, the more light and free you feel. Some of you are getting up out of bed. You've been spending too much time in bed. Too much time wasting away the life you got. You want to get moving? Yeah, you want to get moving. You want to get moving because there is something coming through here that's exciting you. Okay, there's something here that is actually making you feel like you're ready to dive all in. And you're ready to have your perception of reality rocked here. It's something that will actually take you more in the direction that you want to go. But in order to head in this direction, you're going to have to really have a long, hard look in the mirror. Each step you take in this direction is going to show you different layers of illusion you've kind of put on yourself in relation to something that's held you in place for far too long. And I like it though, because as you take this leap, you're going to find that you open up to more freedom. It's funny because it came out upright, but I ended up, when I laid it down on the board on top of the card of cards here, I turned it the other way. See, it's like you're running free here. You're running free into this direction. But as you head in this direction, you keep seeing different sides of yourself you've never seen. It's an awakening path you're stepping onto here. And there's a lot of secret aspects to yourself you're discovering along the way. It could be coming through another person too. You could be going through an experience with another here where you're slowly like revealing new layers of yourself to the other. And it's quite a liberating experience. It's definitely a creative phase, okay? So something's happening here. This is life coming back in. This is feeling you're no longer restricted. Something has moved out of autopilot zone. And now it's sort of like, make it as you go, you know, like you're going to have to operate in a much more kind of off the cuff sort of way. You don't have the ability to plan any of this. And that's the beauty of it. But you are getting up here. There's something about you've rested too long. You've been loyal to a particular position or post for too long. And it's time to get moving here. Yeah, there's a new path opening up with that new moon. Pathfinder medicine coming on through. And this has come through before in relation to this new moon coming in. Like, you're going to be hungry for this. You want to go on this path. There's like, you can't get enough of this path once you open up to it. And it could be through another person here. But this is what's coming to sort of a crescendo right now. Your time of loyalty to a particular journey that's had its day. And there's the recognition that a journey has come to an end. And also that you don't have any stamina to be loyal to what was an old dream or a certain ideal or a certain connection. Whatever this is, it's something that over time, it changed you and it made you too docile. And so now you're going to get free of that, coming in with the eagle medicine here. So eagle flies high in the sky, often alone, flies higher than any other winged creature. So there's something here about needing to fly high first, sort of pan out to get a lay of the land, because something that you're building here, you know, you get that aerial view. It's like a pyramid, right? There's something here that you're rooting. It has a real strong foundation, but it's because you've given up trying to remedy something that you were ready to go the distance with. You were loyal to something for a long time, but then you just recognized that you needed to save some of that medicine for yourself here. I feel like this is somebody tapping into their medicine. This is you tapping into what you need to set yourself free from something that has been holding back a lot of your life force energy. And as you release this, a path opens up for you that you can't get enough of. And there may be somebody you're connecting with here too, and you can't get enough of each other. It's quite possible here. But whatever this is, it does require you to shed layers of illusion the more you step into it. So it's something that is a liberating process in and of itself, whatever path this is that you're stepping onto here. I think you're getting signs of this path. Signs of this path are coming through. You're starting to see what is taking so much from you. You're also recognizing that you can't rest in a certain space anymore. And when I say rest, it doesn't have to be like within a physical space. It can be just like a resting point in your consciousness, something you keep reflecting on. It's also something about really needing to stir things up too. I mean, when we look at horse medicine is about power. It's about power. It's about movement. It's about momentum. When we look at it through another lens, we look at it through a runic lens. It's Rido. It is the journey. And it's the endurance for the journey. And there's something here that you don't have enough spoons for to be loyal to it any longer, because it siphons your power. Because you're around like these greedy influences that take and take and take and take, and they want to see what they can get their hands on first and then leave scraps for you. You know, it's this kind of energy. Whatever this is, you've been pursuing. And some of you have discovered that through, you know, chasing the American dream. You know, going after that corporate job and having all of the trappings and everything they tell you makes for a successful, meaningful life, and it's like falling flat. And you may actually be finding that the more you get rid of these things, or they're stripped away from you in some cases, you're actually having to fall back onto something of more substance within life itself, within yourself, and maybe in others too. If you went through a difficult stretch where maybe you lost some of these trappings, you may have had certain people fall away because all of a sudden, oh, you know, that wasn't a good look. You didn't represent the ideals of what they were after, which was something that was just totally aesthetic, something totally superficial, nothing of real value. And you started to realize, well, why am I sitting here being loyal to this, to these people, when they don't really recognize what's truly of value? But that may have required looking at what you were valuing. You know, you had to face off with parts of yourself here. Whatever this is, though, I feel like you're getting up from this resting place. You want a new kind of community. You want to connect with people who get where you're at. You want to connect with other people who are also bringing their creative energy forward. You want to connect with other people who are also the ones who are being the break in the chain of generational horseshit. You know, you don't want to connect with people that are content living in dysfunction, or content living in their sense of woundedness, or their sense of victimization, or feel like they have to make themselves a martyr. You want to connect with other people who have the strength for the road ahead that you're forging here. Because you're locked on some greater vision of where you're going here. You're locked on your North Node. What's opening up for you right now, you may not see it at this point, but you're going to recognize each step you take moving forward here as we step into this new moon energy coming in on Saturday. You're really going to recognize when you look back at this time that you were laying the foundation for something. You are starting to build here that you have no idea the reach of it, the power of it, and what it's going to ground in your life, not just for you, but for others too. Others you're going to share this path with. Really cool energy. Any more details about this coming in? Any more details about this? Maybe I'll get some tarot on this. We do a cut the deck here. Yeah, I like it. But you got to get up first, you see. You got to get up first. I mean, the message is coming through pretty strong. You got to get up first. Get moving. You know? Get moving. There's something about this. So if you've been in a place where you feel like your energy is low, you've been tired, you haven't wanted to get out of bed, you've been bedrotten, you know, you've been maybe feeling sorry for yourself, or I don't know, you just don't feel like you have any energy because you've had so many people take and take and take from you. I mean, you got to own your part in that. You let them take. You get to decide where your boundary lines are drawn. There might be something to just, you know, get up, you know, just get up, get out of bed. You know, maybe start your day with a walk. Maybe just start moving the energy in your body. And instead of sitting and stewing on stuff in bed, maybe sit and, you know, take it for a walk instead. And see how that shifts things for you. Because I feel like with future grandma here, it's like the future is going to be here before you know it. And meanwhile, there's something here. It's secret to you now. But when you discover it, it's going to be an activating point for you. It's going to be the thing that actually really turns you on and gets you excited. It could be somebody you're connecting with here, or it's some type of path of exploration, something you really want to go further into. This could be a path of study. It could be something you want to learn more about. You're curious about it. And it leads you to a whole new community. It wakes up a secret part of you. You start seeing things differently. And then, I like it, because we started out, you had just like a slice of life. Look, then you got a whole pie in your hands here. You finally really recognize what you want to represent moving forward here. And I love how this like pyramid imagery came in here, because when you got these two pyramids uniting, you get the creative merging with the avenue of expression. So this is a path coming in for you, coming in with mercurial energy. So there's something here that opens up for you. You move forward really rapidly on this path. It brings some kind of sweet reward after dealing with something that was just leaving you hungry for more. I like it. It's when you align with your true north here. You see, it requires your transformation. You have to transform this. You have to get yourself away from these bottom feeders here. There's too much like animosity in a situation. It's like shots are being fired back and forth. There could be some seedy activity too. You also got nosy, busybody energy coming in with Madame Rufflebonnet here. And I think it's time to turn the page and really discover what is your true north. Do you know? You're about to find out. Because you've been wasting time on some pursuit here when the secret ingredient, that thing that's going to give you exactly what you need to feel full of life again, it's been with you all along, but you've sort of been fixated on something while the truth's been trying to get your attention. You've been looking in the wrong direction. You see? There it is coming in. The beefcake. And you're strong. You're ready for this. You can step on this path now. You can be wide open to it. You know, but it does require you kind of like, it does require you let this shit go. All right. Then you'll have your eyes on lock, like headlights for the path ahead. It'll be lit up for you. You'll have the new vision of the new beginning, what's coming in for you. And what kicks off here, it's something that really grows momentum into the summer, all right? You'll see it'll take you to a much different place than you anticipate currently. So let's just get, I think, a round of tarot out here. What do I want to bring in around this? I'm going to bring in my angels and imps. Let's see what they have to say about this. Give us some more information about this. What path is this that's lining up? What do we need to be paying attention to over the next 72 hours? Of course, this is just an introduction of the theme over the next 72 hours, but these reads are timeless. So this is stuff that plays out over time. There's also kind of a convergence, past, present, future, kind of collides when we tap into the energy. So you tend to get a little bit of backstory, also a little bit of what's coming down the pike and where you're at right now, so you can tune in and get recalibrated here. And anything you don't like the sound of, you can change it, you know? That's the benefit of getting a read on the energy, is if there's something you want to transform, you have the ability. You've been forewarned. This is how the energy's playing out. So what do you need to do to switch things up to get a different result? All right? That's what your free will is for. Bottom of the deck, you see, there's a chariot arriving on the scene, though. We got good old Archangel Michael coming through, saying you're shielded as you move forward here. You got safe passage to get where you want to go. Cancerian energy coming in there, perhaps with the blessings of Jupiter for reward for your perseverance, some kind of success coming through for the way you navigated a particular conflict. Came in at 44:22 on the clock. That's synchronicity for you. Right? And it is bringing about turning of the wheel of fortune too. So there's some kind of momentum here. You've overcame some kind of adversity. You may not recognize it. If you feel like you haven't yet, you're just about to. There's some critical action you're going to take, maybe from things reaching that critical mass point. And I don't know. Next 72 hours, you're taking a stand for something. Because if you don't, you'll fall for anything. That's what I see. And you do got a chariot moving you forward here. Right? Taking you where you need to go. So you may want to go with the flow, right? Go where there's the least resistance, you know? Instead of trying to force your way down an avenue that maybe the blockages have been for your protection, okay? What do we got coming in here? Oh, look at that. Knight of Wands. There's that Wheel of Fortune, you see? There's protection as you gain this momentum. You got to allow this wheel to turn. You have protection as you move forward here. Also, you know, you may have had to navigate certain things in a little bit of a crafty sort of way. There may have been times when you needed to go left to set something right. Maybe when you became aware of certain information. I think you'll be protected. You're exiled from getting caught up in any of that, but it has a lot to do with you finally seeing something accurately. Okay, Knight of Wands energy. You needed to see something accurately to get your will aligned in the correct direction, I feel. You had to shine a light on something. So, yeah, maybe you did stuff that was a little out of pocket. Somebody here could have been a Knight of Wands, acted a little impetuously, didn't really think about something, maybe reacted, didn't respond, reacted to some kind of provocation, could have been related to some kind of misinformation, caused an action that maybe somebody desires to take back, but recognizes, I can't turn back time. I can't take that back, but I do want to move something forward, and is worried, maybe worried about being discovered for their part in something. But it says like you're getting exiled here. So in some way you're getting, it's a little bit like get out of jail free card here for somebody in this situation. And with that, we got an imp coming out. That might illuminate some more details about this. All right. And we got something that just landed with an angel on top of that new path opening up. So see, it's really interesting the way it's coming out here, because we got a total split, you know, on this side, what's being left behind, and this side, this is lining right up with the new path coming in with the new moon. So we'll check out and see what this is in a minute. So let's see. I think this has to do with this secret crime, or yeah, 4747, 1111 on the clock coming in with that. A little bit of justice. The Hermit. Could have been some spiritual work that was done. Could have been something that was done on a spiritual level that maybe was justified spiritually, but it's a little bit questionable. A little bit of that South Node energy with the Hermit coming in there. We do have Virgo in the South Node right now. Something that was based on the current point of understanding and not what's coming to light now. So that does really feel like there was some kind of illusion spun here. That might be why you're getting a pass. I could see. You might have worried, am I going to have to deal with some backlash here? Somebody may be worried about this. It feels like it's somebody who may have done some kind of spiritual work or acted out of alignment with their usual sense of values because they rose to provocation, were very reactive, but it was based on some kind of misinformation, I feel. They could have gotten this misinformation through some kind of guidance they received. Maybe somebody who claims to be a philosopher, some kind of guru, spiritual teacher, somebody who drew up their astrological chart, or we also got palm reading on here too. Somebody who advised them in some way. It looks like there's something that's understood now through a different lens. It wasn't the guidance that was needed. And that might be why there's a little protection here. What came out with the new path opening up? Hierophant. Yeah, so there's divine forgiveness here. It's like Spirit saying, okay, you get a pass this time because you were subject to some kind of manipulation. That's how it's coming through. Whoever that's for, whoever's afraid of being caught up in something they took part in, but it had to do with them being misinformed, all right? They were reactive. They had to have certain illusions revealed to them to be able to get a clear vision and have protection to move something forward now. That's what I see. But it looks like you're getting forgiveness here. Hierophant energy coming through, giving you keys to your freedom here. But there's sort of like a catch coming in with it. I do feel like you'll get an ally coming in here. And some kind of favor to help you out of a jam you got yourself in through taking the counsel or the advice of, it looks like a spiritual worker, maybe somebody who was guiding you, did your chart or something, read your palm. This person might work with scrying and fire. They work with fire, got divination and fire coming through. All right, but whatever this is, there's something you do need to secure. You need to secure a promise that you're making with the divine. So if you ask for assistance with something, I feel like you're getting assistance, but you promised you would do something if this was fulfilled for you. So you got to secure that agreement by fulfilling what you said you would do. So that may be why you need to get up and get moving. Okay, interesting. You said, if you do this for me, I promise I will fulfill this for you. That's what it's got. It's got like some kind of spiritual contract that needs to be fulfilled here. So it looks like you're getting an answer. You're getting free of something. But you need to fulfill your end of the bargain. That's important. That Hierophant energy is going to hold you to it. We got Taurus energy coming in there. So we've had Cancer, Taurus, Virgo come out. We also got fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's do a cut of the deck there, see what we got. Got a little impish energy here. Queen of Swords can transform a person into a bird. Interesting. So yeah, there's some kind of truth coming on through here. Also some kind of protection. Also, maybe it's needing to approach somebody, communicate to somebody. This is going to secure some kind of freedom. Secure some kind of freedom. There's like this bird imagery coming through. Right? Yes. So maybe you're finding something out through a Queen of Swords, because it says the Queen of Swords increases one's intelligence. So maybe somebody's communicating some kind of truth to you, putting you in the loop. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And what you're learning here is maybe giving you the courage to break free. It's making you free like a bird. It's bringing about this transformation within you. Page of Cups. So, cool energy coming in here. It's something that gives you comfort, gives you consolation and protection. Protection from those who would work against you. So yeah, it looks like you're coming into alignment with some kind of necessary information here to get you out of a jam. Okay. Could be coming in through communication from an air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Something that provides protection for you, safe passage with where you need to go so you can link up with this path of purpose here. Okay. What else do I want to bring in? Anything else? Let's go ahead and get a few oracle cards just to kind of give a little theme to this energy coming in here. Yes, trust yourself. Trust yourself and release the burden by letting something go. It's time to stop grasping the thorns. Trust your intuition here. You know what this is. You know what you need to release. It's time to let go of the thorns so you can experience the sweetness of the bloom here. As soon as you let this go, whatever this is, you've been really stubborn to hold on to. It's almost got the impression of holding on to something that's just causing you pain. It's just making things more difficult for you. As soon as you relax around this, you know, you're going to really feel so much better. You're going to feel so much better. And then finally, you know, something new can unfurl and reveal its beauty to you. You pick up the sweetness of a new scent carrying you down a trail that promises to show you something you haven't experienced before. It's the path less traveled, and it's also the path of least resistance. You know, it doesn't require you to force your way through. It's just very natural. It may feel awkward at first, how easy it is as you head in this direction and what it shows you about yourself and what's possible for you. But I like this energy. It's very good energy. All right. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. I think you've been in this place of pausing since the winter time. You know, you haven't really made any moves, but we're well into spring now. Summer's going to be here soon. It's time to let the leaf fall from the tree already. Gotta let something new come to bloom here, man. Something wanted to come out and then it kind of went back in. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. Oh, yeah, see? This is what you don't see. There's a new vision that's ready to be hatched here. It's your dream. Your dream is ready to come into view. But it does require your action. It does require your attention. It does require your presence. It comes in with the Wheel of Fortune. It's the thing that's going to capture your attention, and you'll be so enamored with that, all you'll be able to do is focus on the light. And it does transform things for you. It gets you moving. Right. More details about this. So yeah, focus on the light. So the light energy is active energy, masculine energy, putting something in motion. Don't think, do. There is no try. You either do or do not. So far, it looks like you've been doing too much, do not. It's time to do. You have protection. There's nothing to fear as you head in this direction. You also have that lantern to guide you up ahead. Even though you may be afraid to head in a certain direction, okay? There's protection here. You don't need to worry about it. Just stay focused on the light. Don't worry about the shadows that are passing you by, okay? The more you stay focused on the light, the more the shadows will fall behind you, okay? They're not going to journey with you. The only way you're going to be paying attention to the shadows is if you're turning around, looking behind you. No need to do that, okay? Because what's stirring in the pot now is a little sweetness and synergy. It's something that's getting cooking right now that's really going to fill you up because you're coming into connection in a new sort of way. This is conscious connections. First, it's making a real conscious connection with yourself and who you're becoming now. It's hatching a new dream. It's hatching a new vision. It's exploring who you are now. And we see there's like koi fish here, so it's like bringing in good luck cycle for you, but this is also fortunate encounters. Really discovering who's worth connecting with now. Okay, this is a thing that actually introduces you into a new kind of connection where there's not like jockeying for a position or trying to get over on the other or trying to outdo another. There's really just like this real conscious coming together here with the kind of community you're going to be building, the kind of relationship you're going to be building here. It's a sharing of power, and it brings luck. I feel like you're joining forces with somebody here. It's good luck, whatever this is. Need more details on this? Okay, let me do a cut of the deck and we're going to cap this off. Yeah, you got to let the shadows fall behind you, and then you'll discover the luck, the fortune that's in the opportunity as you head further in this direction. And again, there could be something here that you're exploring. You could be studying something. You could be learning something new. You could be connecting with somebody who's acting as a teacher or a mentor to help you hone your craft, or to introduce you to a new philosophy, a new path entirely. This could be you getting really into your own personal growth. You may be exploring different schools of thought, you know, you may be exploring different spiritual paths. This is just opening up to something new here. And it's your new story that's going to unfold, but it's just the first volume. There's volumes that come through this, volumes of knowledge. There's a lot of new storylines that are going to be hatched here, and there's something very fortunate happening here. There's a new opportunity coming in for you, but you can only step into it if you let the shadows fall behind you. You gotta move into the light. You gotta get active here, because you're rising up out of this underworld energy, and you're supposed to bring all the fertility of that forward with you. Everything you learn through taking in those pearls of Persephone, it is the very thing that will make your garden grow here. And you've had your time to pause, and now it's time to begin again. All right, so let the light in, because you're about to break through that ground after your time in the underworld. Let's go ahead and get some numbers of significance here with a roll of the dice. Oh, well, we got a little energy that's caught up here, caught up in the underworld. Looks like the Empress energy is caught up in the underworld and needs to recognize that it's time to rise and shine. What fell on the ground was 5, okay? So, yeah, this definitely is something that has its roots in the past. Something that's been caught up for a while, but is about to go through transformation that's going to bring about the turning of the wheel of fortune and a rapid moving forward in a very unexpected way. Not the way you were thinking of, but it does require kind of getting a different view of a situation. Got Gemini energy, Leo energy, really strong Leo energy, maybe feeling a little bit like caught up right now, needing to get a different view on something. Might require getting a different view on something that happened in the past. We also got Taurus energy coming in here. Pretty strong Taurus energy with that. We also got life path 3, life path 5, life path 8. Might be feeling like a little caught up in something. Need to get a different view. Need to get a different view, and that will help you finally activate your self-knowledge where you'll be able to make a clear-cut decision. That's what turns the wheel of fortune. And that's coming in with life path 4, life path 6, life path 1. Also the energy of Cancer, Virgo, Capricorn, earth energy is pretty strong with that, as well as the Emperor energy, Aries. See, that's interesting to me. See, what moves things forward is moving the Empress energy into the Emperor energy. taking the action. The avenue has to be there for the creative energy to come through. That's pretty fascinating the way that came out like that. And then we also got, this will bring about taking the action to step out of the crossroads, brings about justice. You know, we got Libran energy coming in there. We also got Aquarian energy, 11th house. Okay, so it definitely involves connections online in your community, connections you're making now too, communications absolutely involved, relationships involved. We've got the 7th house there of Libra, business relationships, romantic relationships, things that, you know, you're invested in, you know, things that you're dedicating yourself toward. Also, understanding what's really opposing you, the open enemies. This is when you actually know what's working against you. Whether that's something that you're invested in, something that you're believing in, a particular person who's at odds with you. This is getting a clear handle on that. Got Capricorn energy really strong here too. 10th house matters. You're going to be seen in a very different way as you move forward here. As you start to take action, that's going to really shift the way you're showing up in the world, the way others receive you. It's almost like you've let outside forces kind of control the narrative around you for too long. And once you start kind of stop paying lip service, it's about what you do that's going to speak loudest here and transform your situation. And there is something about this. You said if you receive something, there's something you would do for receiving this blessing, this assist, whatever this is. And this is coming through for you, so make sure you follow through with that. We got the 8th house of Scorpio coming in here too. So this is stages of transformation. We also got 18, the moon, Piscean energy. It's been an initiation process here. So some things you have to journey through just on blind faith alone. You know, you have to kind of feel your way through. But this is about to shift once you finally get this piece of what you need to release yourself from. The transformation happens, and then the way through really presents itself. But first, this resolution of something that's got you too caught up in the hall of mirrors. Too caught up in the past. You got to let the shadows fall behind you in order to make this wheel of fortune turn. And there's something you need to do. You got to hold up your end of the bargain here, because there was some kind of deal that was made. I see that. Communication is key, but the keys to freedom are here. They're accessible, but you got to keep your word to the Hierophant here, because that's coming through really strongly. And there's something that it's like you're getting a pass on. It's like, yeah, you could have done better back there, but you did suffer as a result of some kind of misinformation, which had you acting a bit, you know, impulsively, and probably out of a place that was like your own wounding. I mean, we got that Aries and Chiron energy in our face right now. Is really going to be facing us front and center with this new moon coming in. There's a lot that's coming to a big crescendo point here, so understandable. Let's get some more messages here. Get a little ERISIAN Spirit Board action out here. But I mean, all in all, to me, this looks good. It looks like it's a recalibration, understanding what really has value. And maybe understanding that less is more. Maybe I thought I needed all this. I thought I needed all these trappings. I thought I needed this status. I thought I needed this outward display of success. And now I'm understanding, no, actually less is more. The more I let go, the more free I feel, the more meaning I'm discovering, the more I feel like me. You know what I'm saying? It's actually really good energy. I like it. But it looks like there's a lot that's being learned here too. There's something about this. Like, there's a new story opening up here, but this story is a bit of like an odyssey. The story is a trip in and of itself. There's a tale to tell by the time you get to the end of this particular story that's opening up. And there's volumes to it. And there's something that you learn here. And in the learning, there's something you have to share. And so there's a real opportunity here. And I don't know. Maybe this is a big part of your purpose. You're going to have a story that you're meant to pass on and share with others in some kind of way. Whether it's through an album, whether it's through a body of work, whether it's through something you teach and pass on, or a story you write, or a movie you make, or I don't know. Could be even something you just pass down, you know? Pass down to others in your family, and it has them not repeating certain cycles. But this is good energy. So let's get some messages here. Anything we need to be aware of coming out here? We got tree coming out. So, I mean, I just brought in family. So, yeah, I mean, there's something I feel that's really being healed through the family tree. And I got Unk on the side here. So it could be in relation to a particular uncle too. There could be something, something about that coming in around a particular uncle. Could even be learning something about an uncle, something that you could be connecting with an uncle, you know, and it's drawing something to you, something you weren't aware of. Maybe an uncle's telling you something about your family tree. Interesting. It's revealing something to you. Yeah. Interesting how that came through. Let's see what else we got here. I also got, you know, the jury is out. You know, the final verdict is really going to be up to you. And what you root here is what it all comes down to, okay? So, you know, have your wits about you as you're making choices over these next 72 hours, and pay attention to what's rolling out here, because there's a lot of information coming in for you. There also may be a lot that's vying for your attention at this time too. And so be aware of what you let capture your attention too. I got something about a rep coming in. Somebody's coming in almost as a representative of somebody else. And with that, I got bait. Don't take the bait with that. Don't let anybody be a stand-in for something that should be handled by a particular person. I got the name Dan coming in with that. Okay. Let's see. I got I owe you. Somebody owes you, to hear it straight out of the horse's mouth, not by sending in a representative because they're too cowardly to do it themselves. Something about this. So save them the hassle of doing this person's dirty work by telling them that you're not interested in having that conversation, you know. This could even be somebody wanting you to give them information because somebody else wants this information and they can't get it from you because, I don't know, maybe you're not talking to this person. So, yeah, whatever this is, don't take the bait. So it's like somebody getting sent in as a representative of somebody else. And you should just tell them you don't have time for it. Don't try to, you know, water it down. I think you need to just be real about how you're feeling about that. You know, call it out too. Don't sort of play along with the game. You know. Just ask them straight up, did so-and-so send you in? Yeah, I'm not in the mood for it. I don't want to play any games. Something has involved too many games, and it just really needs to be direct at this point, I feel, whatever this is. Anything else? That's all I got. And I like it because we didn't get really any macrocosmic stuff coming in this time, which is excellent. And we haven't had that for a while. So it looks like we're really getting focused on our own lane over the next 72 hours. So use this transformational window of opportunity for all it's worth, because it looks like you can really break free of something that's held you back for too long, and you have a chance to turn that wheel of fortune right around. Godspeed.